In this video, I'm going to show you how I saved thousands of dollars on my trip from the US, in this particular case, from Fort Lauderdale to Europe for half the cost that it would have cost me otherwise. So here's how I accidentally discovered this hack. Because my travel plans were very flexible because I'm going on vacation. I rarely ever kind of take vacation, even though I always try to incorporate some type of work while I'm traveling. But because my dates were flexible and because I wanted to visit multiple cities, I ended up discovering that there's some cities in which if you fly direct to that city, or if you skip the final destination, you can save thousands of dollars. So I'm going to give you an example of how I did it in this particular trip. I needed to go I wanted to go from Fort Lauderdale to Bogota, Colombia to Europe. My final destination that I wanted to go to was actually Paris. When I was looking for tickets from Fort Lauderdale to Paris, I discovered that it was super expensive to fly business class from Fort Lauderdale to Paris. The lowest priced business class ticket that I found was $5,232. Because I also kind of wanted to go to Bogota for a few days, I decided to see how much it would cost me to fly from Bogota to Paris, business class. First thing that I discovered was that flight from Bogota to Paris was a few $100s cheaper. It was actually $4,900 or something to fly business class on Iberia from Bogota to Paris. When I started to look for other cities, I found out I could fly business class from Bogota to Madrid for $1,500. It's actually $1,527.92. It was my ticket from Bogota to Madrid. And from Madrid to Paris, I looked and I can get a regular ticket for $105. So my ticket from Fort Lauderdale to Bogota, originally I used points. So it cost me nothing to fly from Fort Lauderdale to Bogota. And on the trip back, same thing. From Bogota back to Fort Lauderdale, I used points. So it didn't cost me anything for that. But even if I had to pay for that ticket, a Spirit ticket from Bogota to Fort Lauderdale cost you about, on average, about $350, and then vice versa to come back. So that's a total of $650, and add that to my $1,500 ticket from Bogota to Madrid, and then that $105, 210 round trip. When you add that all together, it's still much less than my original ticket from Miami to Paris. So if you're flexible, your flight plans are flexible, or if you have the time to and want to visit other cities, then consider doing what I just did. And I wanted to check to see if it wasn't a fluke. What I discovered two things. The first thing I discovered is that if you look for neighboring cities, in this case in Europe, I discovered that oftentimes the cheapest destination is going to be Madrid. But once you get to Madrid, to go to places like Barcelona, go south to Portugal, go to Paris, go to Italy. Once you're in Madrid, you can find cheap tickets. They're usually 2.5 hours or less in flight time, or in train, which is even cheaper. So for example, from Madrid to Barcelona, your ticket, it's business class tickets. It's about 27 euros to go on train from Madrid to Barcelona. And I mentioned another hack. This one I found on a message board after I discovered this particular hack, is that if you find a ticket, your destination is, for example, like if you're going to Asia, you wanted to go from Miami to, let's say your final destination is Tokyo. If you go from Miami and your layover is going to be somewhere in either Western US or another city, look to see where that layover is, because oftentimes that layover may be your final destination or where you actually want to go, and then just skip the last leg and just get off. According to this message board, again, I haven't done it, but it's interesting to experiment with this, is to see if that actually is going to be cheaper than actually taking the full leg. But anyways, hope this information was useful. If it was, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed, follow me on Instagram, and if you want to donate, buy me a coffee. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.